I feel like every year we have the same conversation around carnival and eroticism and nudity versus culture and agency and bodily autonomy, right? TikTok removed one of my posts and it really got me thinking that this debate has more to do with who is looking than what carnival actually is. We know carnival places the body at the center, unapologetically. And historically, this was pretty radical. I mean, even to this day, it's considered radical to some degree, right? And in some spaces. But when you think about it, for us as formerly enslaved and previously colonized people, there are certain things that would be considered an act of resistance. We don't really like control over how we move and what we wear and how we express our sexuality. We resist. So what some people might label as erotic or against community guidelines, according to TikTok, is what we might just consider agency, our right to choose how our body is seen. And of course, erotic does not have to mean exploitative, right? In global fashion, eroticism is seen as avant-garde, artistic, empowering. But when it comes to the Caribbean and when it comes to Black bodies and when it comes to Carnival, we see that subtle shift in the framing, and it goes from avant-garde to excessive to indecent, hypersexual. And this double standard is rooted in racialized and colonial ideas about respectability. But when is it empowerment? I think the key distinction here is basically who controls the narrative. And when we think about carnival aesthetics, it becomes more and more empowering when the wearer chooses visibility, designers control representation, and culture is expressed from within. And carnival aesthetics are exploitative when bodies are consumed without context, when the gaze is external and extractive, and when the imagery is removed or detached from culture, which is what happened with TikTok and my post. And we love that carnival is happening and being consumed all over the globe. We love that the culture is being extended all over the place. But the global gaze tends to reshape the meaning of weeting. And when carnival imagery circulates globally, it's usually stripped of context, history, the labor that goes into the making, the cultural codes that accompany the costumes and the cultural traditional events and the traditional portrayals. What remains is the body, disconnected from agency. And that's where we have that little mix-up. That's when we go from empowerment to erotic spectacle. And it's interesting because high fashion regularly borrows from naked dressing or sheer clothing, movement-led design, and, beading on skin and strategic exposure. And all of this is core to carnival masquerade. But carnival designers are rarely cited as innovators when it comes to body-led fashion. And basically, carnival doesn't need to be defended. It doesn't need to be defended to be seen as this valid expression, this valid cultural